Attorney Civil Division. My name's Ann Diamond. I've met you all, and we are the lawyers for the board and for Clint.
Okay, and what was your name?
Hannah, go.
Okay.
Hannah?
We don't have any.
All right, good. Good, all right. Everybody? All right.
All right, it looks like we got everybody. All right, good morning, everyone. We'll go ahead and call to order the September 10th meeting of the Tarrant County Elections Board. The first item on our agenda is the approval of the April 2nd, 2024 minutes.
Motion to approve?
I second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. The second item that we have on the agenda is the approval of the political party ballot board list for the November 5th general election.
Trust that's everybody that we need on there from both parties.
It's all three parties.
Well, three parties, excuse me.
And all parties are content with the choices?
These,
Yes.
I so move to
we have a
approve.
motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. I finally made it to the stage after things off to read. Update from the Elections Administrator on the November 5th general election. Just some general information for everybody as we get closer to November here. First item I have is the Commissioners Court did approve a pay raise for the poll workers, which will be in effect for the November election.
Good.
So our judges will make $18 an hour and the clerks will be making $15 now. Another item that we are going to have for this election is we will have the wait times on our website for the various polling locations. That was a feature that when they switched vendors for the poll pads that they lost. We've been working very diligently with the vendor and our IT department to get that back. And so people will be able to go online before they head out to the polls and check and see where the waits are and where it's not busy so they can make the best choice for themselves on where it is they want to go vote. The other issue that we have been addressing was, I know there was another issue that we have addressed was with the ballot secrecy issues. We have taken that on. We were very serious about that, and we have done everything within the law that we can to ensure the secrecy of the ballots. It no longer will be an issue where a person chooses to vote. We have rectified that situation, and so the public, everybody can feel comfortable casting their vote and knowing that they've got a secret ballot. Another thing which we have been doing for all elections this year, but just to make everybody aware, because people are paying more attention now, we are not doing the transmit on election night. So we used to transmit the unofficial results from the rally sites to the election headquarters, and then we would tally those results, and that would be your unofficial results that night. We are no longer doing that. The results are being transported by a member of my staff with a Fort Worth police officer from the rally site to our tally room, and we will tally the results there. So that is how we're going to be moving those. Because it does create a little bit of a delay. You have to have the polling locations shut down, make it to the rally site, then from the rally site to us. How we will be releasing results to the internet and the public on election night is at as close to 7 as humanly possible. We will release all of the early voting results. Then the next set of results will not be released until 9 p.m. And we will release on the hour, every hour, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, as long as it takes till we get the very last site in and tallied.
Early voting, 7 p.m. sharp. Next one, not till 9.
Correct. We got to give the sites time to close at 7, get to the rally sites, and then get those transmitted back to us. And then it will be an on the hour, every hour, so the public knows when to expect those. The media knows when to check for the updates. It just seems to make it easier on everybody to not have to constantly be updating their phones looking for the latest and greatest. The location for election night will be at 333, is that 4333 Quorum Suite 280. It's at the very end, just down from the Tarrant County, I guess, archives, where they've got a record storage. That is the warehouse that we have been moving into this year. We have there a nice training room that is built. We have screens that will come down so the public can watch. But the nice feature that we have added there is that room shares a wall with the tally room, and we installed large windows so the public can watch tally as it's occurring. So that is another added feature that we will have for election night, and another change. One other thing, post-election, we have a new ballot verifier tool that we have released to the public. It currently has the primary results on it, but it will be available. We have to wait until canvass, and then we have to make sure that any personal identifiable information has been removed from the ballots before we can make the images public. But what that tool will do is it allows the public from their house to simply go to the election, and they can sort and filter the results how they would like. And then at the bottom, however they sorted and filtered, it will have all images of every ballot that was cast in that race. And when you click on that image, it will pull up the image and show the corresponding cast vote record side by side, and the public can compare what was on the actual paper ballot to the cast vote record, which is the digital representation that is being counted, and they can audit every single ballot if they choose to make sure all the votes match, and they can do that from their house with whatever race that they are very interested in. So we will have that. And then, of course, we are hot and heavy into preparing for the upcoming election. We will begin logic and accuracy testing with a public test this coming Monday morning at 8 a.m. at 3333 Quorum. And that will be similar to what we did to the primaries. We will allow the public to come in, we'll pick out the equipment, we'll program right there in front of them. They will have a map, let them pick out what couple of precincts that they want ballots from. We'll let them cast votes in those races. We'll have absentee ballots printed once they identify which ballot style we're using, so they can cast absentee ballots. The ballot board will be there to run everybody through the entire process, give them an explanation of how this all works, how from start to finish the ballots are treated, cast, and counted. So that is the update I have on the November election. Any questions?
Yeah, would you mind just addressing, you said the secrecy of the ballot has been, you've taken steps to ensure that. Could you just discuss that a little bit?
So what we have done is, the issue with the secrecy of the ballot is that we have seen is through a process of elimination. Whenever you have a small group of individuals, it makes a likelihood that one could stand out, i.e. an individual precinct is generally what it is. So what we are doing is, for the countywide polling, if you have an individual that goes way away from their site and they are the only person from their precinct that casts a ballot at that location, their ballot is still secret, because we do not post any reports, run any reports on who votes where. We are simply tracking what precincts are voting at what locations. We're tracking all the ballots, the ballot serial numbers, all of that, but there will not be a name attached to a ballot. There's simply a ballot cast. On where this becomes an issue is, say, limited ballots, which are in small numbers, absentee ballots, anywhere where we have a small pool. Another one is early voting, because we must report a list daily of who votes in early voting. If I happen to be the only person from my precinct that voted the first day during early voting, you would know which ballot was mine. So what we are doing before any of those reports are released, we are making sure that on the report, if we have the instance where there is a 1 or 2 combination from a precinct that voted, that individual's identifying information is being redacted from the report. So you will see that somebody from precinct 1001 voted that day, you just won't know that it was Clint Ludwig that cast that ballot. The nice thing about how we're doing that is because that's a running list. It grows. So as that list grows, when we get to the point that we have a couple of people from precinct 1001, let's say day 3, we have 30 people from that precinct that show up. Well, everybody's going to see 31 people on the list because there's now the list will contain 31 from 1001 that have voted, and my name will be on the list. So we're only doing the minimal redactions necessary to protect the secrecy of an individual's ballot. What we have done is gone to great lengths to ensure that we do not need to redact anything from a physical ballot or a ballot image. The only time that we will have to redact from a ballot is when a person themselves puts identifying information on that ballot. And that does occur. Some people believe they need to sign their ballot, put initials on it, things like that. And that's why it takes us time to do the redactions after the election.
And why do you have to redact that?
The law says we cannot release any personal identifying information, and so therefore we must redact it.
So what's changed from the last election where, I'm sure you saw the reports this week, that just in Tarrant County alone, 7,000 ballots were identifiable?
So I haven't seen that report. I don't know what that report is. I know what we're redacting and what's being done. I know that older elections when we weren't doing that and the Secretary of State was releasing information, it was possible, and if they had downloaded those reports and still have copies, then that information would show that.
I would make one request, that
Yes,
you
Judge.
provide each member of the ballot board, and you provide it to the public for that matter, just a list of changes that are put in place for this election that does not in any way, shape, or form give away secure information that you don't want out in the public for security purposes, but just changes. I mean, it could be as simple as pre-printed serialized numbered ballots, changed passwords on things. A list for us to all have.
Okay.
of what
Yes,
those-
Judge.
All right.
The only thing I got, Clint, is we raised the pay from $18 to $18 an hour and $15 an hour respectively. What was it?
It was 15 and 12. Or 15 and 13, I'm sorry, 15 and 13.
That's good. Thank you, Commissioners.
Any other questions? All right, we will cover that, and we will move to the public comments. I believe we have 2 forms submitted for individuals that would like to comment. I just ask, I don't have access to the timer, but if we could keep it to 3 minutes, I'm gonna do my best here on my phone. Oh, we've got a timer right here. So the first I have is Amy Super.
Good morning. Amy
Good morning.
County voter, and I'm here to speak to you today about an experience that I had while serving as an early voting judge during the 2022 elections. During that period of time, I was acting as the early voting clerk, also with the same authority as an election judge. Fort Worth ISD bused students without coordinating with the elections administration to multiple poll sites. They sent, I believe, a total of 4 buses to my poll site. Because they didn't coordinate and did it as a field trip, we had multiple students who did not come to vote. They just stood outside, along with teachers who stood outside within the 100-foot radius, which is considered loitering according to Texas election code. As a result, I filed a grievance. The other reason that I filed a grievance with Fort Worth ISD is the majority of the students who came through my poll site weren't able to cast a
One
vote.
moment.
1 second, ma'am. I think we're gonna turn your microphone on.
Sorry. No worries, that's okay. As a result, I filed a grievance with Fort Worth ISD, and the final decision, which is quite unusual, is they actually took action. Trustee Ann Dar made a motion and moved that the superintendent or her designee coordinate any future plans to transport students to polls to vote as part of an educational civics lesson with Tarrant County Elections Department. So with all due respect, I'm asking if you could let us know, especially those of us who will be working early voting, if we can expect to be receiving busloads of students, And I would personally ask that you direct them to poll sites that are not tiny, like the one that they sent to mine, and that perhaps we could coordinate and allow the students to be pre-vetted to make sure that they actually are registered, because a poll site is not a location for a field trip. Thank you.
Understood, thank you. And next up, we have Kat Cano.
Hi, my name is Kat Cano. I'm the Democratic alternate judge for this election. I would like to thank the Commissioners Court for upping the pay raises. That's something that we've been asking for election workers for a long time. It's amazing. I think it'll help with poll worker recruitment, which is something we definitely have a problem with. And I'd like to thank the Elections Administration for all the great work they're doing. They've been really supportive of the ballot board through the, 6 elections we've already had this year, and are doing a great job keeping us updated and informed on what's going on for November. I would like to request that y'all post the roly-polies on social media so I can share them, because they're super exciting and everyone who sees them loves them. But I want the one with the googly eyes that looks like a koala.
Yeah.
So y'all don't know what's happening, because they need to post it on socials.
The roly-poly is the nickname that they have given our new curbside carts. We redesigned the curbside carts for the judges, and so we received those. I guess it's one of the things that we've done a lot of stuff this year, and I missed it, but those curbside carts, so far everybody's seen them, love them, but they look almost kind of like Wall-E. And so the staff got a little creative, and we have one that has eyes on it. And we did a fun thing with the staff in naming them. What I did is I allowed everybody to submit names, and then we narrowed it down to 5, and being elections, we let the staff vote on the name that they wanted. So the curbside carts are now called ACE, Accessible Curbside Equipment. And we'll be using those in this election.
Yes, that's right. The ballot board disagrees, and we'll be calling them Kirby. But the official name is ACE. So thank you everyone at elections. Thank you to this board for doing the work that you're doing. And thank you to Commissioners Court.
Can you put that on the side of the wall?
We could.
Yeah.
All right, I have no other comments listed for the public. So with that, we will go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.